Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I just wanted to say thank you guys for the incredible support that I've received so far on these TRX4M tracks. You guys absolutely blew my expectations out of the water. The positive support has been awesome to see. I did put my first set of stock on my Etsy shop last night after releasing the video, and they sold out in a little under an hour. So thank you so much to every single one of you that bought a set. But I'm also going to apologize to those of you who missed out on the opportunity. I've got plenty of supplies coming for these things. I kind of messed up. I didn't have as many bearings as I would have liked to on hand, but I already had an order placed a few weeks ago to get more supplies in and everything. So these tracks will be rolling into stock again later this week. And then after that, I will be pushing out sets in December as fast as I possibly can. So if you don't get a chance to snag a set later this week, I will have plenty more sets available starting the first week of December. That's when my next shipment of bearings is to arrive. So again, thank you for all of you guys that are interested. Thank you for those waiting patiently, and I will do my best to push these things out as fast as I possibly can. First off, I wanted to show you what comes in every TRX4M track set. I also wanted to touch base on some of the comments, some of the concerns that we saw from yesterday's video. So first, let's dive into this. Of course, with the set of tracks, you get 4 tracks, 2 for the front, 2 for the rear. These things bolt on just like wheels. It's as simple as that. Up top, this is what I wanted to focus on a little bit more. So I send you extra parts. These are just parts that hold on your main cog. With the SCX24, I saw that occasionally those would fail if the truck fell off, a high height of like 4 feet or so, or whatever the case may be. So I just want to make sure that I send you guys with some replacement parts just in case anything happens. But these things are rugged, and I believe they're actually tougher than the SCX24 ones as well. Also, I'm going to include 3 extra bolts. One of the longer bolts, which is used for the top to hold on the main cog, and then 2 of the smaller ones for the runners. I'll also set you up with 3 extra runners, 1 of the big size and 2 of the small size, just in case. I don't know, sometimes you lose one, or you're taking them apart, or you're just doing some maintenance, you lose one. I'd hate to see you be down because you're missing one of these tiny little roller bearings. In the middle here, these are the wheel nut tool. Because these are, so deep, it's hard to find a tool that fits. So these 3D printed wheel nut tools work great. I've been using mine non-stop since I prototyped these with no issues so far. And then lastly, I'm also going to be including these here. What these are 3D printed shock spacers. So similar to the ones that come on the truck or in the packaging, but I know we had concerns on body roll. And in the video, there were additional resistance issues that I have since buttoned up, and I'll show you how to correct any of those. But also, the springs on the TRX4M are very soft from the factory, so adding these shock spacers will still allow you to have full articulation, but also prevent some of that body roll that was seen in that video. After I run down this stuff, guys, I'm going to show you a clip of the difference between with the body roll and without. Thanks again for the support. If you guys want to get your hands on a set of these, I will keep updating the stock as often as I can. And if you want to shoot me a message on Etsy, I respond to everyone who messages me and asks me about them and then about the stock issues. I'll respond to all those messages when I do put more tracks in stock, so you kind of get like a first alert, first notice. All right, so we're going to move on from the contents of the package, and I'm going to show you how to reduce binding if you have any. It's minimal, but there's a little trick I found out how to reduce the binding with these, and this trick will also work with aftermarket wheels if you see slight binding in your front axle mainly. So let's jump into that next. Next, I wanted to discuss body roll. So what body roll or torque twist is, and we saw it in my previous video, when the truck was under load, that body would crank to the right or the left depending on if you were going forwards or backwards. Well, your motor, of course, goes through your transmission and then out your front and rear drive shafts to the front and rear axles. But that rotational momentum is spinning in the same direction for both the front and the rear. So if these wheels or these tracks get held back at all, or there's additional friction, what's going to happen, instead of that being transferred into the wheels or tracks, it's going to be transferred into the soft suspension that comes on these trucks. And that's why you see the body roll. Especially with these beautiful bodies that Traxxas has made, they are quite heavy, so that's going to also impact the body roll that we see on them. I have a few solutions, though, to correct that, as I know no one wants to see their truck squatting like this or like this when they're trying to run their tracks. So first and foremost, when I filmed that video, I did have a slight binding issue in the front axle, and I have a solution on how to correct that. Basically, the stock wheel hex has little ears on the back of it. You can see mine are trimmed off. I trimmed these off because I found out that when I tighten the tracks on the truck, it would push this back just enough to interfere with the bushing and cause slight binding. After trimming these though, we can see it basically takes no effort at all to move this cog, the little bit of play that the axle has, and that's what you want to see. That tells us there's no more binding issue there. The second way that we're going to counteract this is suspension, right? So if you have super stiff springs, you could have all the binding in the world and this thing's not going to torque twist. But as we know, these are crawlers, so they come with very soft springs. I'm also going to be including, as I showed you, 5 of these little spring spacers. And when you install these, it's going to reduce the little bit of body roll or torque twist that is left almost to a minimum. Unfortunately, tracks, they're always going to have more friction than wheels, right? Simple wheel rolling is much more frictionless than a track assembly. There's a little bit of added friction. I've done everything I can with these to reduce the friction. They roll very nicely, and you barely have to put any pressure on them because everything's on ball bearings, but still, it's more than just the wheel rolling. So, in order to counteract that, what I did is I put these spring spacers on. Next, I'm going to show you a couple clips of this thing running with and without the spring spacers to demonstrate the body roll. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking this video out. I know it may not be my highest quality production video, but I just wanted to address some questions, concerns, and other things that I saw with the tracks after the initial launch. Again, I cannot thank each and every one of you who purchased a set, and also those of you who are patiently waiting for a set. I can't express enough how much I enjoy doing this and serving you guys products that I hope you can get out and enjoy and love. But the tracks, they do take a while to print, they take a while to assemble, so I can only produce them as fast as I can produce them. I also have more supplies coming. I'm running a little low on bearings, as I mentioned. I will have another drop later this week, and then after that, it'll be about another week or two before I get my additional bearings in, and I can make a bunch more sets. So, if you have any other questions or concerns, please drop a comment below. Again, if you like the content, if you like what I do, consider subscribing or liking the video. Really enjoy seeing those numbers. So thank you again for all the support. This community is amazing, and I will see you guys next time.